Sam, did you see some green shoots there this afternoon?
We discussed about, I spoke with a couple of blokes in the room in the week about being better for longer, and I think we definitely were. I thought Ed and Yusuf were coming and did a good job for us. I think everyone stepped up a bit. We're still not where we want to be. You want the 2 points at the end of the day, but effort-wise, we weren't beat there again, which is great. But yeah, we actually moved the ball and got a bit of a share of possession, which really helped us to start playing a bit, and we should gain a little bit of confidence off it. Obviously, we didn't get the points, but yeah, plenty to take out of that one.
Decent start as well. That's the first time you've scored first this season, and sort of just energised the crowd, didn't it?
Yeah, and we came up with an absolute shocker off the kick when they kicked it back to us, and that's us. We come up with some errors, right? So you look through the game, play one offload goes to ground on their goal line. There's a few midfield errors, and you can't come up with that against Leeds. I know people say they've got blokes missing, but still got a very good team. And I thought their Davidson and Ryder Lum had a blinder for him as well. But yeah, we can't give them away at the minute and expect to come out with the goods. So yeah, again, plenty to improve on, but we did some really good stuff today.
You talked about Yusuf. How do you think Ed went as well?
Ed was good, solid, come up with some really good stuff for us. Just don't think we got him into the game enough down their end really, but defensively solid. And he came up, he came up with some good stuff. Speaking well, he's a man, he's been around this a while, and after having last week's changing rooms where a lot of young kids in there who were pretty quiet, it's nice to hear a couple of blokes speaking confidently in there today, and again, we did get that confidence out of it, and hopefully we'll maybe get one or two more back next week as well.
Are we starting to see the reasons Herman and Franklin were brought in? Do you think, are they improving week on week?
Yeah, I think Herman's been trying, like all of them have been trying like mad, but unless you get a share of the ball, because these are big men, right? So we have to accept, whether we like it or not, when they're that big. Like Frank's an absolute unit, but you have to accept there's going to be a bit of mop up around them, and we haven't had it in us, whether it's been the fight's not been there or lack of ball, more defending, more fatigue. We've not been able to see their better qualities, but I think Frank was off last week. The week before against Giants, the second half in particular, I thought he was good. There is definitely something there with Frank. I think the more we can get our team up to speed and get a bit more support around him, I think we'll see the better side of him more often than not.
You mentioned a couple of players might come into the mix next week. Who's that then?
Well, we've got Truey's almost there. We'll see how he looks this week in training. Cam Scott comes back into the mix. Tom Briscoe. Got me there. Might be a couple more, might there? I'm not sure. I've still got all them young kids who were great the week before. They'll have a job on this week, just because I think we have gone up again in our level of performance. So I hope we don't have to change too much, but it'd be nice to bring a couple of those blokes who again, that sounds daft, but it's a man's sport, and the physical side of the game we can't get away from, and again, we'll still be looking after those young lads, but they'll have their time to play. But if we can bring a couple more senior boys back in, obviously do us world of good.
Truman's the name that the fans will hear from all that. How key is it for you, Simon, that obviously he will come in and improve the team, but not to put the weight of the world on his shoulders at the same time?
Yeah, I was obviously on the back of a long layoff. He's looked great in training, of course, but do we really expect to see the best of Jake Truman over next month if he comes back next week? I don't think so. It's like starting the season all over when everyone's rusty for that first month till you get into your straps. But I think he'll be good. He's definitely got some qualities that we're missing at the moment. So we'll welcome them back, and we'll be patient around getting him back to exactly where we'd like him to be. And I watched a lot of rugby, full stop rugby nerd, but watching Hull last year, there's no coincidence that when he got back on the field, there was an upturn in performance. So yeah, really looking forward to getting him back. Amongst others, obviously Fashi's in the background there. I've not mentioned him, he's not too far away either, but yeah, I'll keep going lost, make sure all of them, but yeah, we're getting there, and that again, it's building blocks at the moment.
Do you have a firm idea who we'll play in the halves with?
A firm idea, no, we need to make sure he's playing first, but yeah, Charles has been great, and Morgan's been doing okay as well. We just need to have a good look at that, and we'll review this one and see what performance look like on paper, in the numbers, and also in the detail of it, and then we'll make a choice.
Any injuries today?
No,
Jack only played one stint, or was that just because the others were going
Brown.
well? Jack Brown.
Yeah, just tough. I thought Jack was okay, hurt us a couple of times, and he's not alone in that, but then when Frank's going well, when Herman's going well, trying to spin them on and off the field. So yeah, a difficult one. He didn't do anything particularly badly, but yeah, it's just how the way it goes sometimes.
Thank you.
Jack Walker back in the side today. How do you think he went?
Very good, a bit rusty, but came with a bit of energy. Obviously, I thought he'd got a try saver in there. Did some good stuff. And obviously, went out to the wing. We had Moy on the bench, and for those that have seen any of Moy, particularly in his reserves and academy stuff, he's agile and he can make people miss him. So that was the thinking around pushing Jack out and bring Liam off and let Moy have a go at him when we were looking for something towards the end of the game. But yeah, Jack's worked hard in the background. He'll be first to tell you a bit off it on the match fitness and that, but again, that's just only going to get better.
Morgan Smith taken off late in the game. Is he alright then?
Yeah, he's fine. I thought Danny Houghton was class. I thought he had really threw that old frame around the field and wanted to leave him on there for the end of it. And again, we're just trying to get Frank back on the field and working out the best way of using what we've got. So it wasn't the shepherd's hook or anything like that. It was more just getting Frank on really.
Obviously, a lot of strides made defensively, with the ball. It's just that little final product in the final 20. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities today, a lot of chances to score. So is that your main focus going into next week? No,
defence will still be our focus. I thought it was better, but I thought we leaked a few average breaks, half breaks, where we should have done better. I think we scrambled really hard for each other, which is a really good sign, obviously. But I said last week, it's defence at the moment. If we can stem that, we've shown we can throw the ball, and we do loads of that training. The lads love it when you got the ball in your hands and you're doing all that good ball stuff. But for us, it's more the point of keeping them out.
What would you say the final details in defence that you're still looking for?
Well, we've changed a couple of things around how we want to defend in certain areas of field, and I think inevitably on the end of the line, you're the one who has to make the choice on it and have that trust with the inside men there to get the decisions right. I thought we got them wrong a few times, and then generally just our contact and wrestle. I think quite evident when they got it half quick, they kept it quick and we weren't quite able to get back in it, and that's when we were peeling back, on your heels all the way to your own half. So yeah, that's an area for us. But again, defence, just as a generalisation, some areas are definite touch-ups, but we just need to keep working on it, full stop.
So you spoke with the crowd midweek. I know Richie Malley did on Humberside before the game started. I mean, the support it's clearly there, isn't it, from the home crowd. If you get that dig from in the performance, the crowd go with you.
Yeah, I think I'd also say might have been with you, Dan. I think it's frustrating. None of it's personal. They just want to see the team go well, don't they? But it certainly does feel better when it's a cheer and applause as opposed to the booing. And yeah, we get 4 weeks on the road now where we won't have that, but hopefully we can keep making some steps forward within that 4 weeks. When we do come home, we'll come home to a happy lot as opposed to that other stuff.
Does 4 weeks on the road, does it affect the mindset at all, knowing that you've got to travel? Obviously there's some long trips in there, Warrington obviously on Friday, London as well, so does that come into play at all?
Maybe, I don't know. I think for mine, it's an opportunity to spend time with each other. I think it's easy to become fragmented when things aren't going great, and I'm not suggesting that has been part of it, but obviously we've had a couple of blokes leave, a couple of new lads in. We'll have some time on the road together, obviously down in London when we go down there, so yeah, it's not the end of the world. Home games, it's nice to have your crowd behind you, but it's 100 by whatever it is, piece of grass, and we just need to keep practicing and putting good performances in.
Cheers, Grix.
No worries.
Jake Truman, what is the plan? Will he come from the bench, or is there?
I don't think. We'll make sure he's right firstly, but for mine, yeah, there'd be no point in putting him on the bench. I wouldn't want to sit there after such a long time out and watch it unfold. I want to just get in there and crack on with it. He's ticked the boxes physically, I think, and mentally it looks like he's in a good spot, so I think he's just about good to go. We'll just take them final checks, but again, we're not going to rush Truey anyway. If he turns in this week and he's not quite feeling right, that's fine.
As for Tom Briscoe, is he likely to come into contention?
Yeah, definitely. He was on the back end of an injury, so he only got the opportunity to train once with us last week. So rather than chucking him in and risking potentially aggravating anything, we just felt like it was a smart decision just to leave him out of this one. But yeah, he'll be in the thoughts next week, definitely.
What's the mood like in the sheds after the game, Simon? I mean, obviously the last few weeks been out of the contest early in games, but how important was it, despite obviously being disappointed in not getting the result, that there was some fight shown today? Is it a lot more positive after the game?
Yeah, I think I can't tell you how frustrating it is, unless most of us probably would have played team sport in the room, but when you work really hard and you don't get anything for it, I think even those games where we've been comfortably beaten, for example Huddersfield, we're going alright in that game, and then 15 minutes we just switch off. I don't know how many we leaked, it might have been 5 or 6 tries. You leak them, second half were alright. I think they're just really frustrated is the feel. But yeah, then when you come off, obviously it feels better with a win, but when you come off knowing you've done a good honest job, it's like a day at work, you feel good about it, a week at work, you've put it in. You won't always get the reward, unfortunately, because teams are good and they're playing their part in it as well, but it does feel quite a bit better when you know you're on the right track. And I think at the moment the lads are on the same page around where we're at as a team and what we need to do to get back to, you know, putting the points on the board. These steps like that today around that effort and starting to put into practice, put into gameplay what we have been practicing, I suppose, rather giving yourself the opportunity to put that into gameplay. But they're all right. They're not down. They'll be tough. Just adds layers. All this layer after layer. We're getting pretty big at the moment. All this tough stuff, but it'll. I won't say it's a good thing 'cause it's not. But you know, these lessons, they're good in the end.